I'm Gillian Slade, a reporter with Medicine Hat News, and today I want to introduce you to Robert Larrobee. He's living in Medicine Hat. He's a performer, singer, writer, and many of you have seen him in concerts impersonating some of the legends. And the reason for coming to Medicine Hat, we feel very privileged to have an artist in our midst.
I lived in Edmonton for many years when I came out from BC. Originally I'm from British Columbia, and I liked Alberta, and Alberta was always very much, especially when I first left home when I was like 16 and came here, everybody in Alberta spoke French. Everybody was from Ontario. That was back in the early 80s when the big boom was on, and I mean everybody was back east, lots of Newfoundlanders, and downtown Calgary, I mean it was just a mixture of culture, Canadian culture, you know. And so I always liked Alberta, and it always seemed to be bustling and industry oriented, so there was always work. And I followed a girl to Saskatoon. I never thought I'd live in Saskatchewan ever, you know. And we used to make jokes about Saskatchewan. We used to say, they were going to pave it to make a parking lot for Phase 4 of West Edmonton Mall and all these kinds of things. And not that I didn't like the people out there. It's just I'm from BC and I'm used to mountains and stuff, right? So I followed this girl out there, and I came back with a different one 15 years later. So when my current wife said she was interested in moving here because her mom had moved here and they're really close, right? Her mom was out here. I said, if you move to Alberta, I will do the move for you. It won't cost you a thing. I said, I'll move all the stuff myself. And we had we had 7 houses, 2 that we lived in. She had hers, I had mine, plus all these rentals. So she took me up on it. So I had a 1-ton van, and for 8 weeks, every weekend, I came here with a load of stuff. I moved her house and mine myself, just so we could get here. Because I wanted to get back to Alberta, and to live in southern Alberta was just, that was the best.
We're chatting to you, like I said, it's just so hard to visualize you in all these other characters that you perform as. And I'm wondering how long it takes you to feel comfortable enough to perform as a new character. Are you still adding new ones to your repertoire, or?
No, I'm really segueing out of that whole thing. I mean, I enjoyed that, and that was great, but that was very much a cottage industry. And you can only go so far with it. I mean, if you don't get a job in Vegas working for Legends in Concert or something really big, that's as far as you can go. And if you don't get that, then you might as well do something else. And I guess I found, though, I actually made more money than I would have made in Vegas working for myself up here. A guy approached me one time because I was depressed because Jon Stewart had told me I had a job for Legends in Concert when I was 27, and he said, call me, I'll be back from Atlantic City in March, call me and we're going to work you into the show and all this. So for me that was very exciting, that was my dream, and I called him for 3 years, and got shined on and shined on and shined on. So and as soon as I told him I was from Canada, when I was in his office when he told me I had the job in Vegas, he kind of just shined me out the door. It was like, it changed the dynamic of our relationship as soon as I told him that. So, and rightly so, I guess, because they got all these American Elvis guys auditioning for him all the time. So I came up here, and a guy said to me one time when I was kind of bummed out about this, he said, why are you bummed out? He said, those guys are making $1,500 a week. You're making $1,500 a night. He said, you just stay here and pick the apples off the trees, boy, and don't worry about those guys down there. And that kind of gave me the right perspective. And then so I got this show to a point where it's making $4 or $5 grand a night and more, and where we can do self-promoted shows, and some nights make $10,000. But the thing is, it's just not exciting me anymore. It's not jazzing me anymore.
So the thrill out of impersonating those people.
No, because that wasn't the dream. The dream was to be an artist. The dream when I was a kid was to be an actor and a singer, right? To be a star, And then Matthew was sick, and I couldn't really go. I asked my son when he was about 8 years old if he would mind if I went to LA, because my then girlfriend got accepted in an acting school down there, and she felt I could probably get accepted. We should get down there. We should be doing auditions and stuff. And this is way back when I was a young guy, and he just looked at me and said, "No, Daddy." So you put your dreams and plans on hold if you've got a child. especially a sick child. And now Matthew's with
And
Jesus.
Matthew had cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's with the Lord. So it's just like I've come into this place in my life where I'm going to go for it. And
So your concerts will be more inclined to be you performing
yeah,
yourself.
I'm hoping that in 2011 it'll be, I'll always do some cover tunes. If I get a request, then I'm sure I will, to do some of the comedy and some of the stuff, I'll always throw it in for people. But ultimately, next year I want to be out there actively promoting this album.
Do you think that's part of coming to a stage in life where you sort of mature and now you feel comfortable being yourself?
Well, I think, yeah, that could be part of it. Ultimately, I think that I don't have any of the answers. That it's, I believe in a power higher than myself. So I just kind of believe in being in a state of preparedness. Prepare as you change and grow as a human being, and you want to expand and go in different areas. Get prepared. That's the key, I think. And then things will unfold for themselves, right? Because there's a larger dynamic involved in me. I'm just this little tiny guy, right? So when things come to this place of readiness, and I get to go to this next level, then all I need to do is make sure I'm prepared to go there, and then I've got my material tight and solid, and I know it backwards, frontwards. And so for me to get it to that point is I've got to get out there and perform. I always believe in the performance aspect. The lyrics got to be strong, the music's got to be strong, the orchestration's got to be strong. I'm working with a good composer at the beach in Calgary. That's the #1 recording studio in Alberta. And so everything's got to be strong and rehearsed and performed. And then when the knock comes at the door, you're ready to go through it.
And for anyone who still wants to see you in doing the impersonations, there's still a chance that there might be the odd concert like that?
Well, this year we're going to do it till the end of the year. I'll probably do some Christmas shows, etc. Again, that's the thing now. I've already got bookings for November, and the phone's ringing. But it'll be a transition from that to the original thing. Like I said, whenever it happens.
Well, we thank you for coming to share that with us this afternoon.
Yeah, I get excited just talking about it. I love it.
Thank you very much.